we're here to talk about the power of complementary colors and a little bit about the color wheel today. Don't be scared. Okay, everyone, don't be scared, because you guys know me, I am not a fan of the color wheel. I'm not a fan of color theory in general. My favorite way to pick colors, as you know, is to look at those pretty color palettes, which I have some on my blog. My favorite way to pick colors is with those palettes, because you can already see that the picture looks pretty and you know that the colors are going to work, and then the colors are all pulled out and ready to go. And so it's kind of a no-brainer, and we have several of these already, and I've showed you those in the Color Like a Pro series. And we have some of them on our website, and then of course you just Google color palettes and go on Pinterest, and there's hundreds of them, and you can pick them and they have your colors and you're good to go. What is cool about color theory is it teaches you why these colors work good together, and I'm not going to go into all of that. We might make this a series where we kind of go over each concept if we want to. If you guys like this, we can go over why these go over each concept. But today I'm just going to teach you one concept that will give you a little power in the color wheel, so that you will understand a couple little things, and then it will help you pick your colors. If you ever get stuck, you can kind of refer to the color wheel, and maybe it will give you a little push into picking your next color. So this is the color wheel I did, and I just went into my Blick pencils, and I have this little pocket color wheel that I bought. I think I got this one at Hobby Lobby for like $2 or $3, and then I used my coupon on it. And this one I bought because it looked like it had tons of information, and if I ever really wanted to learn everything, it would all be here. And it's double-sided, and it talks all about the different combinations and tones, and it has a cool spinny wheelie thingy that does cool thingies. But like I said, I am not a fan of all this technical stuff, because to me it's all about how colors make me feel, and when I sit down to color, it's more about how I'm feeling that day and what I want that coloring page to feel like. And then when I'm coloring, though, sometimes I get stuck and I want to add a color and I'm not sure what to do, and that's kind of what I want to talk about right now, is when you get stuck, what do you do next? And that's where the color wheel can help you. And so we're going to kind of ignore the majority of color theory and start with one concept. So when you look at the wheel, it should help you choose a color, and any combination you pick should be pretty. That's the idea about the color wheel. The color wheel's been around for like, I don't know, 300, 400 years. It's been around for a long time. And there's actually several different kinds of color wheels. This is the most basic standard color wheel used in art. So if you went to art school, this is probably the first one they would teach you about. I think it's called the RYB because of red, yellow, blue. That's what this color wheel is called. And it's got 12 sections, just like a clock. So if you ever want to sit down and just doodle a color wheel because you're bored, or you're stuck in a doctor's office and you forgot to bring your color book but you have your colors, you could draw a clock with 12 sections and draw and color yourself a color wheel, and it's a really nice, relaxing exercise. So you have your 12 sections, and at 12 o'clock you've got your yellow, or whatever. I mean, you can put your color wheel at any angle you want, but it's 12 sections, and you've got yellow, red, and blue are your primary colors. So that's why I made these little circles, so we can pull these off and look at them separately. Oh, it's like being in kindergarten. It's so much fun. Okay, so it is like being in kindergarten, because we're going to go back and remember that these are your three main colors, and you mix them together and magic happens, right? Remember how fun that was? It's still magical to me when you think about it, and that's what we're going to talk about. And when you mix the colors together, you get beautiful harmonies, and that's actually what they call it. When they mix together and you get the combinations, they're called harmonies. I did not know this till last night. So they're called harmonies, or color chords, like as in music. I think it's kind of cool that they're called color harmonies or color chords, because it really does, you know, if you hear a pretty chord on the music, it makes you feel good, makes you feel like it has a pleasing feeling to you, just like a pretty color combination makes you feel good. And so that's why I say don't worry so much about color theory, go after what makes you feel good. And then when you get stuck, if you know just a tiny bit of color theory, it's going to help you. So today, the little bit of theory we're going to learn about is complementary colors. So when you look at your color wheel, a complementary color basically sits straight across each other on the wheel. So if it's across the wheel, it complements each other. So you can think, oh, you're sitting across the table, and you look across the table, and Violet says to Yellow, oh, aren't you pretty today? And gives it a compliment because they're complementary to each other. Hello, you're so cute. I like the way you smile. See, they gave each other compliments. Okay, so that's how you're going to remember. They sit across the table and they're complementary, okay? So anything across the wheel is complementary. Now, I know that was silly, but that's how I remember that. Why they're complementary is because they're across the wheel. So anything across the wheel is a good combination. It's harmonious. It's a chord. And they'll work together. So if you're stuck and you're coloring all these beautiful pumpkins for autumn, and you're working in all these beautiful colors of autumn with oranges and yellows, and you're just like, oh, this page, it needs something. I'm just stuck. What should I do? Well, I'm going to pick a complementary color. And you look at your color wheel and you go straight across your orange. Ooh, blue. I'm going to add a pop of blue. And if you add a pop of blue, look how pretty those look together. And see? Wow, isn't that great? Now, so that's how you would put together complementary colors. So that's pretty powerful, isn't that? And it's pretty simple. So if you have a little color wheel sitting around, because if you're like me, you're not going to remember that orange and blue are across from each other, then when you get stuck, you just pull out your color wheel and bam, you remember that I'm coloring these orange things and I really need something extra on this page because it's kind of boring me. I'm going to add a pop of blue. Now, the thing with complementary colors, though, is that when they sit side by side, like if we take yellow and violet and sit them side by side, they're really strong together. They're really bold together because they're so opposite. It makes a huge statement, and it can really overpower a page. And so you kind of want to be careful with pairing up complementary colors. Okay? So maybe it's just a pop of the complementary colors. So if you have a page with a lot of yellow, you could just add a pop of purple and it will really set things off and make it look really amazing. But if you came in with a huge amount of purple, it might be overwhelming on the page. So compliments are great, but if you give someone too many compliments, they might think you're insincere. So be careful with your compliments, right, everybody? So that's one way to think of your compliments, okay? Now, the reason why complementary colors work good together, and this is really cool, which I learned last night when I was learning this, because I didn't know why. This is your color theory education. Is, you know, when you look at your color wheel, we all know that there's a warm colors and cool colors. You can divide your color wheel in half. So you have this half of the color wheel is your warm half, and this half of the color wheel is your cool half. And anytime you pick a complementary color, one complementary color is on the warm side, and the other side of the complementary color is always on the cool side. No matter what set you pick, you always have one warm and one cool. And that's one reason why they work so well together. Now, the other reason why they work so well together is no matter what combination you pick, there's always part of the red, yellow, and blue in that combination. Let me show you. So if I pick, again, our yellow and violet combination, we have yellow here, and we pick violet as our complementary set. Then you think, what makes the color violet? You have to use red and blue to make violet. So there you have your yellow, red, and blue. So that's why complementary colors look good together, because no matter where you pick it on the wheel, those two colors will always make up the three. Ooh, it's like color magic. Did that make sense? Do I need to, should I show it again? Let's show it again. Okay, I'll pick a different combination and show you the color magic again. So let's just twist the wheel and let's do blue and orange. So again, we've got a cold and a warm. Blue. Oh, the color, everything's going weird. Blue and orange. And to make up orange, you have to have yellow and red. So you have all three primary colors of the color wheel. Pretty cool, huh? Now, let me explain one other trick we can use complementary colors for. If you were to draw an apple, and I'm going to really mess up this apple, so forgive me, everyone, because I don't draw well under pressure. So if you were going to put a shadow under this apple, a painter wouldn't just do a brown shadow. He would, or she, would do a shadow that would include a complementary color. So they would look at their color wheel, except they would probably have it memorized. But I would look at my red and say, okay, what's the complementary color? And that would be green. And I would add green into my shadow. So you could start your shadow out here of your apple and then add in the green. And the reason this works is because, you know, when you take your three colors, red, yellow, and blue, and if you poured all those colors into a cup and you mixed it all up, you would get a muddy brownish color, and it neutralizes. All the colors come together and they neutralize. And so if you mix these colors together, you can neutralize the colors. And so in our coloring, we can use the complementary colors to kind of tone down and neutralize our colors. So in a place where you would use brown or a gray, you can actually use a complementary color to make things look more natural and build it up with layers. Let's see if we can get brown out of this. We should be able to get a brownish, grayish color. Some colors are going to work better together, and the problem is we don't know what this red was made of, and we don't know what this green was made of in the factory. So this green could have been made of a whole bunch of different colors to get this green, and when you mix this green with this red, we don't know what the combination is going to make. The same is true of watercolor. If you were buying your watercolors, painters get upset because if they think they're mixing yellow and blue to get green, they might get a surprise because they don't have a true yellow or a true blue, and they don't end up with a green, they end up with a brown. So that's a real problem in the art world, and that's why you end up buying more expensive paints, because you end up with truer pigments. And so the same thing might have happened here. Let me bring this up closer. So you can see we did get a pretty good grayish, brownish mix there. So that's pretty impressive. And at least the pencil's layered up pretty good. So next time, if you want to add dark colors, try using complementary colors rather than going straight for your blacks or your dark browns. Or you could use a brown and then mix in a complementary color, because that will help deepen up the colors and give you a more rich color and make it look more natural and give it more layers and make it look really complementary and harmonious. It'll be more harmoniously color theorious theory-ishness. That's a new real term. Color theory-ishness. I just invented a new term. So that is your quick color theory lesson for the day. Complement colors for bold effects and neutralizing other colors for deeper shadowy things and neutralizing of your colors. Ta-da! So, do I have any questions from the class? So, don't forget to use your complementary colors this week, everyone, and be very complimentary to each other. And I will work on making you a pretty color wheel to color and see if I can get that uploaded here within the next day or two. So, have a very blissful day. Keep this colorful zen with you, everyone. Take it out into the world. Thanks for joining me. You guys have a wonderful day and see you next time. Bye-bye.